Hello, Seiiti Arata. You are a liar. You are not revealing to the world who you really are. You're constantly observing the context and the people around you, and then you use that information to modulate, to regulate, to optimize, to change how you present yourself to the world. Well, we all do that. And this is helpful for us in certain situations in which we get benefits because we are adjusting to the social context. However, in certain cases, this can also cause problems for us, particularly when we become too incongruent with who we really are, and we put too much effort repressing our true nature. Let me explain first a little bit about the ideas of masking, camouflaging, and compensation. Masking is when you modify your true feelings or true behaviors to fit in with social norms. In the ancient times of Greek and Roman theaters, the actors were using masks to play different characters, and these masks were known as personae. And they had these exaggerated expressions to transmit emotions clearly, even to the people who were sitting very far away from the stage. And the term persona originates from these theatrical masks and has later evolved to display the different roles that we use in our social settings when we're playing different roles, and it also is related to the word personality. Masking here refers to hiding or modifying the feelings and behaviors that you have to fit in with the social norm. If you are in a work meeting, maybe you say that you agree with a decision that actually you do not agree with. Why? To appear more agreeable, to avoid conflict. Camouflaging is when you change how you act or how you look to blend into your surroundings and avoid standing out. Camouflaging goes a little bit beyond masking. It involves changing your behavior, your appearance, your mannerisms to blend into the surroundings to avoid drawing attention. For example, you can think of a new employee who starts to observe how things work here, how the colleagues are dressing, how they act, and then mimicking these behaviors to fit in. They might start even to wear the same clothes, the same style, to engage in the same type of small talk, the same routines to avoid standing out. Now, compensation is when you develop new skills, new strategies to manage areas where you're feeling less confident. Compensation is related to learning, improving, acquiring skills, and using smart strategies to manage areas where you feel deficient. For example, somebody who struggles with social anxiety might take some public speaking classes to improve their confidence and prepare for social interactions. This is also another way to deal with your discomfort, your anxiety, by putting extra effort. You compensate where you're lacking. Now, it doesn't matter if you're calling it masking or camouflaging or compensation. They all help you to fit in, to make your social interactions easier, smoother. Before we continue, just let me clarify here that these ideas of masking, camouflage, and compensation, they are all terms that are very similar. They're describing how we basically adjust our behavior to fit in into different social situations. There is no strict official definition for each of these terms. You say, oh no, that's actually masking. No, this is compensation. People use it depending on the context, and these definitions often overlap. All the three words, masking, camouflage, and compensation, they're about how we use the information from our environment to change our behavior and fit in. Whether someone calls it masking, camouflaging, it doesn't matter, it depends on their perspective, but the core idea is the same. We are changing. We are adjusting ourselves. We're trying to optimize for social norms, for the different expectations. So what you need to remember here is that it doesn't really matter how you call it, masking, camouflaging, compensation. Just remember, these behaviors are about fitting in, managing how we present ourselves to the world. This adaptability is a key part of our human condition, the human interaction. It helps us to maintain harmony with the social group and also be okay with ourselves. This is a very important part. You have to be authentic. You have to respect yourself. I'm going to be telling more about this very soon, so make sure to stay until the end. And by understanding this, we can better empathize with the efforts that people are making to navigate in their different social environments. Of course, when I started here saying, you are a liar, that was to grab your attention. Now, seriously speaking, it is crucial to clarify that these behaviors are not about manipulating people with an evil, malicious intent. No, it is about you find a way to align yourself with the social expectations and hopefully make your interactions better. It is a form of social adaptation where we might hide certain aspects of ourselves to make social encounters more comfortable, more acceptable. Masking is also studied in the fields of sociology as well as psychology. There is a very influential figure in the sociology analysis, Erving Goffman. And Goffman suggested that life is like a stage where we are performing different roles. We're managing the impressions that we make to fit in with different social expectations. We're always trying to manage the impression that we make. We put effort to control how other people perceive us. We all do this masking. And he used this metaphor to explain the social interaction. Like imagine a front stage. The public persona that we display in a social setting is like an actor performing on a stage. But there's also the backstage. This is where we can drop the performance. We can finally be our true selves because there is no audience. Does that make sense? So the front stage, the public view, the behavior, that often involves masking. That's where we are suppressing our true emotions, our true reactions, because we want to fit in, we want to avoid negative judgments. And society imposes different types of roles and norms that we have to obey. Masking will help people to fulfill these roles, whether you are an employee, a student, a friend, or a family member. What is the role that you're playing? And by conforming to these expected behaviors, we can maintain social harmony, we can avoid conflict. But there are also risks. There are downsides of masking, camouflaging, and compensation. This masking can help us many times to be accepted in a social group. But these behaviors also have a significant cost that we pay. It's very important to be aware of these potential downsides so that we can address them, we can make conscious choices, and we can find healthier ways to navigate these social interactions. The problem that you might find is that you will be continually putting more and more effort to the point you get exhausted. By monitoring and adjusting your behavior to fit in different social norms, this can be mentally and emotionally exhausting. This effort requires significant cognitive resources, will lead to fatigue and burnout over time. Be careful. For example, imagine you work with customer service. So you always have to be cheerful at work. Hello, welcome, and so on. And this can make it very difficult when you are overwhelmed because of other things. It can drain your energy. You can be depleted by the end of the day. I don't know. Have you ever felt something like this? There's also the problem related to the loss of authenticity. You feel like fake. You have to consistently hide your true self. You start to feel inauthentic. And there's this disconnect between your external behavior and your internal feeling. Now listen, to have a life, to live a life that is worth living, you need to find authenticity. And the only way to be authentic is to examine your core values and be consistent with these values. To find activities, to discover these values, you can visit the link arata.sc/your values. For example, pretending to enjoy activities or conversations that actually you don't find interesting at all can make you feel like you're in a certain way living a lie. And this can erode your sense of self. And this is almost like getting angry at yourself because you're never saying what you really think. It can lead to feelings of emptiness and dissatisfaction and other mental problems. Your stress, your anxiety can become chronic because you have this constant pressure to perform. To maintain a certain persona, this can cause mental problems, emotional problems in your life. This fear of being exposed or not fitting in can create a constant worry. For example, social events might become very stressful if you're always worried about saying the wrong thing or saying it in the wrong way or in the wrong moment or in the wrong voice tone. And this anxiety can prevent you from fully enjoying the social interaction because you're always like, what should I do? And might lead to avoidance of the social interaction altogether. Be careful, because in some cases, this can even increase your risk of depression. I have seen people who got into depression because of a combination. There was this masking exhaustion, as well as other events in their lives. So this is a very serious issue. So while a little bit of masking is a normal part, a healthy way to live in society and respect other people. You also have to balance taking care of yourself, finding safe spaces where you can drop the mask, really be you. Because this non-stop, prolonged, continued masking can lead to increased symptoms of depression. It's an emotional price that you pay for constantly hiding who you are, your true self, your feelings. Sadness, hopelessness will appear. For example, if you're always suppressing your true emotions to appear always strong and happy, there are other issues that need attention that you're not taking care of. And these will all accumulate into mental health problems over your life. Excessive masking can also destroy your genuine relationships because at the end of the day, you're kind of lying. You're not being yourself. Your connections become superficial because you're not showing your true self. It's more difficult to form deep, meaningful relationships. Genuine connections require authenticity and vulnerability. If you are always presenting this micro-calibrated mask in each interaction, other people will not get to know the real you, and this will result in relationships that will lack depth and intimacy, leaving you isolated even when you are surrounded by a lot of people. People might like the persona that you created, that you're displaying, but they don't really know the real you because you'll never show the real you. You may have noticed this if you have an event with different social circles together, right? You can think of a party, an event, when you have your childhood friends, your family members, and some work colleagues together. If you have been using different personas, different masks with each circle, this can be a recipe for disaster. This is a big potential for inconsistency between how you act in these different circles. When you present different versions of yourself in various contexts, this can make it pretty clear the lack of authenticity and congruence. And this can have many negative consequences as well as more stress, more anxiety on you. Because you have to be juggling different personas. This requires a lot of mental effort. Maintaining multiple personas can be exhausting. That can lead to this idea of a fragmented self. If you do not allow yourself to be authentic and genuine, it's like in a certain way you don't think you are adequate, that you don't deserve to exist, and therefore you have to create a fake character. You see how this is actually kind of being disrespectful to yourself? When the front stage and the backstage personas are too divergent, it can create tension, can create stress, particularly when these audiences are together. Then you're gonna feel like a fraud. If people notice inconsistencies in your behavior, they might be questioning your authenticity. Who are you? And this can erode trust and make it very difficult to form deep, meaningful connections. So you need to be authentic. You have to know what your values are. That's why I want to invite you to take some time. Get pen, paper. Write down what are your core values. This is step number 1. And you can do activities for this with me in the link arata.se/your values. Once you identify your core values, then it's going to be much easier for you, better for you to know what are the behaviors that are more appropriate for you in all types of social situations. And this will also create a better sense of an integrated self. You deserve to respect yourself, to give yourself authorization to be really you. But first you have to have clarity about who are you, what are your values, and then you can be congruent with these values. Balancing different personas can lead to a lack of authenticity and congruence, particularly when social circles overlap. So remember these 2 words, consistency and authenticity. Be yourself, respect yourself, reduce this mental effort of managing multiple personas, multiple identities. You can do activities with me to discover your core values. You can find authenticity. You can live a better life with less anxiety by visiting the link arata.se/your values.